homeowners were underwater with their mortgages, but now house prices are soaring with double-digit growth in the Tampa Bay area, which is prompting many people to find a new home. We recently spoke with a realtor from Smith & Associates to see how you can make the most of this latest housing boom.
Joining me right now, Liane Jamason from Smith & Associates, who's a realtor extraordinaire. Thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you for having me.
And as they say, you can't come on this air without telling me some good news about the real estate market in the Tampa Bay area.
Absolutely. So we are up big time over last year's numbers. In Pinellas County, we're up 17.3%.
Wow, 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. Hillsboro's at 5.8% and Pasco's at 11.3%. So we've seen a really big jump.
In the housing market prices or in housing market sales? Are those sales numbers?
In prices. Actually.
In prices?
Yeah,
okay.
In prices. Actually, the average sale price has gone up quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is this the top of the market?
It's always tough to say. I wish I had a crystal ball. I think it's going to depend on what interest rates do. Everybody's expecting that we're going to see those creep up a little bit, and that usually tends to stabilize prices a little bit. We might see a little bit more increase, but I don't think we're going to see massive jumps.
Now, we're going to talk about in just a second 5 tips for buyers in a tight housing market, because there are certain things you need to know when it comes to housing and when to buy and all that kind of stuff. But before we do that, this new thing that's going on with Zillow,
yes.
Apparently Orlando is going to be one of the test markets. Tell me about that.
Yes, Zillow launched a program yesterday called Instant Offers in 2 test markets, Orlando and Las Vegas. And what this is going to be, it's going to be an opportunity for homeowners to input their information into Zillow and very quickly get 15 offers from various investment groups to buy their home. One of which is BlackRock, you might remember, was buying up a lot of homes in our area in the last couple of years. The issue is, as you know, investors are not paying top dollar, they're paying pennies on the dollar.
Oh, sure,
These are going to be low offers that homeowners are getting. And for the test marketing, Zillow's not going to be charging for this, but in the future, the fee that we're hearing is 9%.
9%?
Yes.
Wait,
yeah.
Realtors don't normally get 9%.
I don't charge 9%.
Right, yeah.
So it's really, I don't think it's in the favor of homeowners, but I think people are looking for things to go online now, and it looks really slick and cool, but it's really not the best.
Have we gotten too used to the idea, though, that, guaranteed income from a house, and then people just don't want to wait? Or what's the deal?
I think so, yeah. Or if you're in a hurry and you need to sell your house in 7 days, maybe this is the way to go, but you're certainly not going to get top dollar like you would if you exposed it to the open market.
Now, are we the only ones who do understand that when they say they'll guarantee to buy your house, it's not going to be what would be, what might be, in quotes, a fair market price that's going to be
I guess
discounted?
Some people don't understand that.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
All right, so let's now talk about some of the mistakes that people make and maybe a way that we can be more successful in either buying or selling our home. And let's start with number 1.
Sure.
A budget and stick to it.
Yes.
Oh, wait, when you use that word, the B word, budget.
The B word, the budget. Well, one thing that I try to tell buyers to do is talk to your lender. If you have a monthly payment that you're comfortable with, let's say you're comfortable with $1,500 a month and you have X amount put down, your lender can work those numbers backwards and say, okay, you can afford this much house. And then once you have that number, you really kind of want to stick with that.
Now, we're not in the crazy era where people can go in and they say, well, I'm comfortable with that number, but I'd like to take even more.
That used to happen, and still sometimes you qualify for more than you actually want to spend. I've had buyers that qualify for $500,000 loan, and they really only want a $300,000 mortgage.
So banks aren't pushing you to take that bigger money.
They're not pushing you, no.
Okay, and when you set a budget, did you also set what I call the flexible amount? Well, I'm going to set $200,000 as the budget, but if we go 5 or 10 over.
Yeah, I think that does end up happening. Sometimes people want to go lower, and then when they see what's out there, they have to stretch that a little bit. I think that's normal.
Okay, number 2, identify desired neighborhoods and home wants versus needs. Ooh,
yes.
There's another one, wants versus needs.
Yes, I mean, of course, everybody wants granite and stainless appliances and things like that, but those are things that really could be put in the home after you buy it. What you can't change are things like school district, the size of the backyard, square footage of the house, so that you really have to kind of look at those wants and needs. You can change the flooring, you can change the kitchen cabinets.
Yeah. What happens about those poor people in Hillsborough County where they're changing the districts around?
You have to be careful.
Yeah.
Check those school districts.
Although you're not even sure where it goes. And another thing, talking about this wants versus needs, I don't ever remember maybe 10 or 15 years ago when there were so many selling of these entire packages of the refrigerator, the dishwasher, the microwave, and I'm amazed.
Yes.
So if you don't get that when you buy the house, you don't get the stainless, you know, for 3,000 or 4,000, you can get all the stainless if you want.
Exactly.
And now
Don't
black,
let that be a
black stainless.
Black stainless is the new hot thing.
We just remodeled our kitchen, so I gotta get rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay, be ready to make a quick decision. Define
Yes.
quick for me, will you?
Yes. Well, I'll give you an example. We had a buyer who had just started looking, saw the home that she loved, but she said, oh, I don't want to put an offer on it today. It's the first home I've seen, even though it ticks all the boxes. Well, guess what? It was gone the next day. So once you're qualified and you kind of really identify what you're looking for in a home, if you see it, don't wait, jump on it. You've always got your inspection period to really examine and make sure it's what you want, but if you don't do it, somebody else will.
Very quickly about pre-qualifying. The number of mortgage dealers in the area, some people say they're not really pre-qualifying them. I don't want to mention companies, but I know that you've heard because someone's a very large company. What does it mean to be really pre-qualified for a loan?
There's a difference between pre-qualify and pre-approved. Pre-qualify is you say to me, I make $100,000 a year, and I go, okay, then you're qualified. Pre-approval is, here's my tax return showing that I make $100,000 a year and proving that you make $100,000 via pay stubs and things like that.
So if you're selling a house, you'd want somebody who wasn't
You
pre-qualified.
want them pre-approved.
Pre-approved.
Yes.
Okay. 4, bid competitively and limit contingencies.
Yes.
I had a real estate agent a number of years ago, and I looked at contingencies and it was like 14 pages long. It was like, what on earth is this?
If you're getting a mortgage, there's going to be contingencies in the contract, such as inspections and loan approval. Those are normal. I think what they're talking about here is if you have a house that you're selling in order to buy the other one, if you can limit that contingency, that's a good thing. If you can maybe not ask for an appraisal contingency, that's an extra one. So things like that, and then just making the offer more attractive, maybe with more escrow money down.
Right. In today's market, I mean, speaking of experience, I mean, pretty much people are hitting their asking prices like
they are.
fast.
96% of asking price is what's average right now. Yeah.
96.
Yeah.
What was it 10 years ago?
Oh,
5 years
gosh.
ago?
Yeah, it was rough.
It was horrible. Hard for real estate agents to make a job.
Yes.
And work with a realtor. Tell me why isn't Biona better?
Well, I mean, first of all, we help keep sellers out of legal hot water. We're used to these.
That's true.
We're used to these contracts every day. Not to say that we're attorneys or anything, and you can certainly have a contract reviewed by an attorney.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. Knowing what to disclose, knowing what not to disclose, knowing how to negotiate the best price for your home. I negotiate homes all day long, and somebody who's not in that position might not be as strong in a negotiator and leave money on the table.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I always like working with realtors because I got enough to worry about without trying to have to go through a magazine and go, well, there's this. And then let's talk about something else I'm really big about, relationships.
Absolutely. I mean, we have relationships with lenders and title companies and appraisers and roofers. If things go wrong during the transaction, that we really are the ones that can save the transaction if things start to go awry.
And believe me, when you sell a house, things can go wrong.
They sure can.
Liane, you always come back with great information. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
May the real estate market still be hot as ever.
Yes.